if there's any review that's going to get me absolutely lambasted on the internet to the point where people will probably want my head on a spike, it'll probably be this one. And let me just say right up front, this is not a bad movie. It's not. It's not a bad movie. I can see that there is some genuine effort being put in here. But after hearing about its hype up the ass for so many freaking months now, when I finally watched it, I just didn't get it. I didn't see the movie that everyone else saw, and I saw a movie that was more just straight up disappointing. Not to the point of being like him, where it's a pretentious, unwatchable piece of dog shit, but to the point of just being really, well, bored by it. And I hate to say that because this is a movie that I did have a lot of anticipation for. It's from the director of Barbarian, which I really liked, despite having some of its own problems. And it had an interesting, unique idea. Problem is, I just don't think it delivered on many of those ideas at all. And a grand majority of this movie is full of really, really dumb shit. And it's not like the campy slashers where you can forgive it because it's part of the subgenre's DNA. No. It's to the point where you're wondering why the characters are so stupid. You're wondering why they're making the actions that they are. And you wonder why these main characters that we follow aren't just slasher fodder. Because some of the decisions made in this movie are really, really, really fucking dumb. So, brace yourself, because I'm gonna go against the grain here and actually give a hot take. One that's even probably my hottest take I'm ever gonna do on this channel, at least of this year. So, let's talk about it. And trust me when I say I did want to like it, but I just didn't see the movie that everybody else did. Sorry. What's up? What's happening? What's going on? Everybody, welcome back to Animation Station, which is your for anything and everything animation, including TV and movies, and especially horror films. I am your horror fan and host, Jackson Small. Welcome to my complicated but disappointing review of Weapons, one of the most highly praised horror movies of the year, and one that I just didn't understand. Now, again, like I said at the beginning, this is not a bad movie. It is not a bad movie. There is genuine effort here. I do still have some things I really like about it. The gore in particular. But the actual storytelling and the writing and the characters and the pacing, I really didn't like. And a grand majority of the time I found myself extremely bored. So, without further ado, with my opinion now out there for this movie, let's get into the written review. Like I said, it's not a bad movie. It's just a really, really frustrating, disappointing one. I still hope you enjoy my review anyway, and if you do enjoy this movie more than me, that's great. I'm happy you're able to enjoy something more that I just can't. Enjoy. Probably gonna get some hate for this, but I just don't get the overwhelming amount of praise for this one at all. Even from some of my friends, I just don't get it. It has some great gore, especially the death of the antagonist, where her head is ripped in half. Like, that was fucking awesome. An admirably original concept, which, considering it's a Hollywood that's dominated by tired remakes and overdone, pointless sequels, that is definitely something to be admired. Especially from a major studio like Warner Brothers. A few scattered moments of good atmosphere. There are some moments where it does do a good job of keeping you on the edge of your seat and giving a little bit of suspense and tension, even if most of the time it doesn't really pay off all that well. And a solid finale. It's a rush finale, but it's a solid finale. It works for what it is. But it's all in service to terrible writing. Unacceptably bad acting from a talented cast. Like, how can this cast be acting this bad? Like, how? I'm sorry, but the acting in this movie, it was like I was watching a cheesy 80s slasher, which I usually love that, and I don't mind bad acting in those movies because they know what they are. This one doesn't. It takes itself super seriously, and it just makes the bad acting stand out even more. And again, considering the talented cast it has, that is unacceptable. A boring story. It has a great original idea. Problem is, the story just meanders. a grand majority of the time. One of the most forgettable villains in recent memory, like Aunt Gertie. I don't hate her. She is a decent idea for a villain, but problem is that most of the movie she doesn't do jack shit. Like, a grand majority of the time she's just standing there acting creepy and very rarely doing anything. Like, yeah, the performance is okay, but the actual character, like, for a main fucking antagonist, is boring. Arguably the most boring in the movie outside the actual protagonists of this movie, which, again, are so bland, weak, and generic they might as well be fucking slasher fodder. Being way too long at over 2 hours, which usually I won't complain about, but this one doesn't do it well. And it's because the horrible pacing makes it feel longer than it actually is. This is a movie that feels like 4 hours despite being over 2. The tired, overdone jump scares. Just why? Why are we still doing this? Why are we still doing the tired, overdone, boring jump scares that don't scare anybody anymore? Not even fucking kids. And this is an R-rated film, which gives it even less excuse. All the comedy falling flat, all the attempts at humor in this movie are fucking atrocious. Like, not Invisible Woman bad, but still almost just as bad. Like, almost every single attempt at a joke in this movie, I was just cringing every single time, because it wasn't funny. It was either bad puns or just really, really stupid, dumbass dialogue. Like, the humor in this movie is bad. Like, plain simple. And all the characters suck big time. Every single one of them. The main lead guy, the main lead girl, the main villain, the kids, as much as they try. Like, they are all just so boring. Every single one of them. And again, this is where the bad acting comes into play, because with bad acting, you just make your characters even more bland and generic. Like, this is a movie where I literally wanted everyone to die and for the movie to end. Do you know how bad that is? Because usually with a horror movie, you want to have some kind of investment in the characters. Like, take the Hammer remakes, for example. The Hammer remakes of Frankenstein. Most of their characters have some kind of depth, some kind of intrigue, and some kind of character that actually makes me somewhat care about most of them. Now, it doesn't mean that all of them in these movies are good. There are a good bit of slasher fodder characters, but the main characters are super unique and interesting. This is not that. Every single character here feels like slasher fodder leftovers, and it made me wish that all of them would die. Like, every single one of them, just to end the fucking suffering. It really was that atrocious and that insufferable. I respect your opinion if you enjoy this one, but for me, it's overrated, it's below average, and it's extremely fucking boring. I'd personally recommend just skipping it. There's simply not enough here to justify wasting time on its blandness. Like, watch a kill count on the internet and call it there, just to see the cool practical effects. That's really all this has. Practical effects, good cinematography, and an idea that was original but thrown down the toilet very quickly. And sure, the finale may be solid, but is it worth slogging through 2 hours of boring, slow shit to get there? In my opinion, no. And that is why this movie's final verdict is a damning, low, but not quite bad 4 out of 10. It's below average, it's boring, and I just simply don't get it. I'm sorry. Look, you love this movie, continue to love it. It's just an instance where it's a super popular movie that is just not for me. And, you know, that happens sometimes. It happens when there are times where I really dislike or like a movie that everyone else dislikes or likes. Like, for example, let me give you a good example. I'm not the biggest fan of Beetlejuice. Like, I think it's a good movie, but I just don't get, like, the huge, massive cult following it has. And I do think that the sequel sucks massive balls. But it is a movie that does have a cult following. A lot of people love it, and a lot of people watch it around this time of year. That's the best example I can give to you for that. So, yeah, it's a disappointment. It's a frustrating disappointment, and it is an overly long, tedious, slow bore. But it's not bad because it does have a fair amount of decent things in it. It's just overwhelmed by all the bullshit. And that pretty much sums up all my thoughts on this movie. It's weighed down by a lot of bullshit despite having good ideas. And again, it's a hot take. I know it's a hot take, but it's my personal opinion. So, that's all I've got. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for better videos almost every single day, if I didn't already scare you away with this review. And again, just my personal opinion. You're allowed to disagree. Just please don't be a fucking dickhead in the comments section. That's all I ask of you. And that's all we have for modern horror right now, because we still have about a week or so until the Black Phone 2 comes out. So that's going to do it for our modern horror bits for now. So thank you for watching all these modern horror reviews. It was nice to get all caught up with the current horror landscape after spending almost a whole week, if not more, in the classics in the 30s and 40s. So, yeah, it was nice. But we do gotta get back to business as usual because we still have a lot of Universal Monster films to go through. So, if I didn't already lose you from this review, I'll see you guys next time when we continue our Universal Monster Pantheon journey with The Ghost of Frankenstein.